talk about being shrewd, and we've all seen contracts, but what's that like? What was that feeling like? And what did your family say when you got home?
It's there's levels to it, right? Like you're traveling up to New York City and you're making, $1,500 a show, right? You're going up there initially on the weekends and you're doing 2 and 3 shows at night, starting at 12:30 at night, because the clubs don't pop off in New York City, but we're 15, 14 at the time, right? Friday, Saturday night, we get in the car and go back, $1,500, right? Okay, we're making this thing called per diem, at this point. Like, before that, mama, can I get $5? Can I get $2? Like, that's the level of what you're reaching for. You know what I'm saying? At that age, like, I just want an allowance, every week or whatever that is. So then all of a sudden, per diem, $35 a day is being put on the plate, right? Like, yo, I'm staying in a hotel and I can order shrimp cocktail downstairs, but I'm still making $1,500, $2,500. Like, I'm not even really thinking about that. I'm like, yo, I elevated from $10 a week to $35 a day on the weekends, right? And we're learning, throughout the process. We come home after that off of a tour, like you said, that's a whole different thing. The dollar and some change, right, was in the bank account. We made money, along the way, little certain drawdowns where they got to pay you $1,000 here, whatever that is. Like, so you're making a little bit more money along the way. It's from $10 to per diem, $35 a day to, okay, now it's $1,500 a week or $2,500 a week. We're rising up the scale, but at the same time, we're learning the business, right? And we're seeking information. And for me, I was a late bloomer on that side. Like, kudos to Michael Bivins, kudos to my mom at times, saying, look, what the hell is going on? I love my Uncle Brooke for really just sitting me in New Edition, knowing I had the talent and coming back and saying, Ron, do you want to be in this group that I knew about? Hell yeah, and him being able to try and figure it out, at the same time, but really not knowing. Like, we have the talent, we have the vision, we're trying to take this thing up a level, but we don't know. Like, we're being thrust into some shit that's upper level when all we've been taught was to think on this level.
And
right?
that's where it feels almost criminal with what they do to young black artists. Actually, let's just take young artists that don't have anything. They come dangle something knowing your mom's behind on the rent. Yeah. And the smallest thing, you still sound appreciative, and neither one of you sound bitter when I would be. Do you ever think about how much money you've made other people? Do you know how much your group has made? The Man, do y'all know how much money y'all have generated in this industry? It's gotta be
If we got what we were supposed to get, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. Like, I'd just be like in my boxers somewhere, on an island. You know what I'm saying? Right? You still feel like you gotta work, right? At the end of the day, right? But it's good that you wanna work, right? In the industry like we're in. Like, I love being on tour. The grind is a little crazy, and if I can do it, when I wanted to a certain extent, if I could give it to people every other year, what have you, and I knew everything was taken care of, all of the above, like, I'm still doing that. Because I love the energy when they say, ladies and gentlemen, right? New Edition, Bell Biv DeVoe, Ronnie DeVoe, Benzino, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, right? So I love what I do, and it's been a journey trying to figure out how to get to the ownership equation, right? And we're there, right? Along the way, we've seen it, right? Even on tour, the All for Love tour, the Castle, the whole, I mean, right? We're in an 80-20 deal, right? With Alan Heyman, right? Getting into the back end dollars and all that, right? We make this money, but at the time, the money is going towards taxes and back stuff, and then you're in a deal with the management company.
Just to clarify, it's 80-20. He gets 80, right?
No.
Oh, you're getting 80.
New Edition is getting 80.
Okay.
Yes. A promoter's job is to promote the concert for that amount of money, and you're supposed to get the lion's share, but you don't know that when you're coming off the block and you pulling on Mom Duke's coattail for, you know, an allowance of $100 or $25, and somebody dangles that carrot in front of you and they say, yo, you can up from 100 to 1,000, you know, you don't know that you're really supposed to make $1 million, right? But there's levels.
Right.
And I think we're in a culture, we're in a place and time where people feel like they work for something, right? Like I paid my dues. It was always the pay, you gotta pay your dues. Like, nah, like, you know, give me what I'm supposed to get. You know, from the beginning, and let's do this shit a correct way. But I do understand, like, yo, I've been in the industry for 40 years now, you know? So.
Are there people doing it the right way that are not robbing their artists, or is it just, that's just how it is?
You know, I mean, it all depends, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we all street guys at the end of the day. Not all of us, but a good majority when it comes to hip hop. And, you know, a lot of my stuff, I was hustling in the streets.
Weren't you selling CDs out the back? Were you selling?
I was selling drugs.
But after
know.
that, were you selling music?
Not necessarily, you know. A lot of, you know, I had a love for it. So the money I was making in the streets was really the money that I was living on and the money that I was okay with. I just loved hip hop. And, you know, really, like Ronnie said, you know, going on tour was a fun thing. You know, like we having fun, we together, a group of guys together, and we going to different cities. You meeting new girls, and the money thing is like in the back of your head. And, you know, I'm making money from the streets at that point, so it was like a lot of my money was just going into really the group and going into like my, you know, the profession. And because I was making money in the streets, I really wasn't worried about too much money making from music. It just was so fun. And at that point, you know, especially like in the late 70s, early 80s, like hip hop was so, like this was dope. It was more of a fun thing than you thought about money, because you're going outside in the parks and you're rapping on, you know, with two turntables. It just was something that artistically, that we never had before, and something that influential in your life, because all in your hood was just poverty. You didn't, you know, I mean, the fun was going outside, but this is like a phenomenon, man, and you know, you want to be a part of it. And like Ronnie said, there's nothing better than going on stage and people loving you and, like, you know what I'm saying, cheering for you. So the money thing kind of gets stuck in the back. The people who see that and know that, who are at the level of in it to make money, they see that and they take advantage of that.